Okay, now start. Yeah, you need to be louder. Yes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, both physically present and online. My name is Hassan, and I will be the sergeant announced for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the 919th meeting of Karachi Toastmasters. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention some ground rules which are followed in our Toastmasters meeting. Now, since our meetings are happening hybrid because of this pandemic, which is a good thing now, so the ground rules can be mentioned as kindly silence your mobile phones, please. As Toastmasters, we do not talk about religion, politics, gender, sex. So please refrain your discussion to these topics. Please do not cross talk those who are physically present. And for the online audience, kindly mute yourself if you are not speaking. Kindly turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. As everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise our Toastmaster Club has a goal. The mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide mutually supportive and positive learning for the learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce this meeting as open. Clap again. But first, let me call upon the most important designation of our club. As you all know, the president. And our president is, let's see, I will give you some hints about it, about him. He is the DTL, a very determined Toastmaster, and the one leading with example, the new captain steering the ship, and one continuing the legacy of this club along with his new team. The one and only Toastmaster, DTM Tel Aviv.
Thank you so much, everyone. I can see the back of a laptop and Toastmaster Imran Rana in front of me. So I need to know, am I in the frame? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining us offline and online. And this is a very special occasion because this is the first of our meetings in the new year, which is July to June. It is a very special moment for accountants as well, because we are all busy winding up the previous year. And it is also a very special occasion because it is the start of a new term for Toastmasters. So what is Toastmasters? Toastmasters is a non-profit organization headquartered in Colorado, USA. What it does is it runs clubs all around the world, and the mission of each club is to foster the communication and leadership skills of its members. The clubs operate under a unified curriculum, which is called Pathways, and usually all around the world, broadly, the structure of the meetings, the structure of the curriculum looks exactly the same. And that's what sets Toastmasters apart. Now, since this is the start of a new year, and we've just finished a banner year in our history, for which the credit goes to our immediate past president, Toastmaster Kawal, as well as the previous executive committee. Because for most of the year at least, we were number one in the world in terms of certifications. We fell to number 4 on the last day because 2 or 3 clubs submitted 50 education certifications or more in one day. And you know what? I'm not interested in competing with those clubs. They can do whatever they want. We are not competing on those terms. We know what we did. We know how we did it. We counted every word. We made every speech count, and that's what's important. So what's the new year going to look like? The trouble with us is that we cannot leave well enough alone. We have to upgrade every year. And this time we are thinking about upgrading in a major way. But the details of that will come soon, not right now. I won't break the suspense, but yes, there's a big upgrade coming, and provided our XCOM agrees to it, we will see a definite step up in terms of performance, in terms of member service. You may be wondering, what could be better than being one of the top 5 clubs in the world? There will be one thing that's better: being the #1 club in the world. But more than that, again, it may not appear that way, but it's not about numbers. It's about service to the members. Numbers are a happy byproduct of our members making progress. And last year, more than 23 members completed their pathways in this. Last year, there were 102 educational certifications obtained by 35 plus members. So the clubs, its meetings, its lofty performance all comes from members. And that comes from just one thing. And that is one thing that I always stress upon: prepared speeches. You can have the best table topics in the world. You can leave people in stitches through your witty performance of the journal evaluator role, or the Toastmaster of the Day role, or the table topics master role. That won't move the needle on the DCP, and that won't net you new members. Write it down somewhere. What will get you new members is quality prepared speeches. That's my experience of the past 3 or 4 years, during which I've been part of the club leadership. When a club guest converts to a member, it is usually after getting inspired by a speaker. And most of those have been inspired by our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Mariam Arif. So, but before that, we will take our guest introduction. So we have a guest here. Sir, will you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit? Yeah, you have to step up.
Okay, I'm sure I'm audible because I'm loud.
Yes.
My background is, educationally, I am a computer science engineer, and professionally, I'm a tech salesperson. I have been selling for organizations like Microsoft, Teradata, currently with Oracle. Have been a very passionate tech enthusiast in the past, I would say. I do a lot of storytelling and a lot of salesy things on a daily basis. But when I came across Toastmasters, I was like, maybe someday I can become a trainer. I don't know. I didn't have that skill set then. I don't have it now. But I'm here to acquire it. So looking forward to meeting with you guys and those of you online. Thank you so much. The attendance is really great. I was watching the screen. There are about 20 people over there.
Yeah.
So this is great. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a true pleasure to have you. Given how technically challenged we are, we would certainly welcome you as a member. And you'll be interested to know that if you want to become a trainer, there is a person who became a trainer thanks to Toastmasters, and that is myself. So I can vouch for that. Yeah. So thank you so much once again, and it's a pleasure to have you. Do we have any other guests here? No, we don't. Do we have any other guests online? We don't have a, okay, we have Mr. Shahab Mumtaz. Mr. Shahab, would you like to introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahab Mumtaz, and I am basically a civil engineer and by background, and master's in business administration. I'm currently working with the management consulting firm, And over the last few years, I've been working in airline with Qatar Airways for last 14 years, and now I'm back in Pakistan. And during my years with Qatar Airways, I had exposure of Toastmasters, and but it was just a brief introduction, and I was interested, but somehow I could not participate. But now I'm back in Pakistan, so I browsed through the net, and I found your club, and I thought I should maybe join. And uh, it's just not about myself. Actually, I wanted my son to join as well, and in order to motivate him, so I said at first I should be joining, and then maybe he can join later. So he's sitting with me and he's just watching. So maybe would you like to introduce? No. So maybe in future, inshallah. Yeah.
Would you like to open the camera?
Yeah, would you like to turn on the video?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So anything else? Was the introduction okay?
So, okay, thank you so much, Mr. Shah. It's a pleasure and honor to have you and your son. Hope you enjoy the meeting. And also, our VP membership will be putting his cell number in the chat box right now for anyone who's interested in becoming a member. So, thank you so much. We have another
Thank
guest. We have not a guest, but someone who I see after quite a long time. Toastmaster Faya Akhtar, would you like to say a few words? And where have you been? What have you been up to?
Thank you so much, TTM Talab. Good evening, everyone. Really, it's a long time period, and I was really missing, especially KTC. And still, I am at my tuition. As I told you that now life is somehow changed and quite tough. But of course, when we become the part of the Toastmaster, it's not easy to leave for the long time period. So today I managed my old things and I just decided myself. So let's see about the meeting. Best of luck, all of you, and Toastmaster of the evening as well. Thank you so much, DTM Tala. Over back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Faya. We have we have a guest who has a very historic name because his name is the same as someone who is a mentor to all of us, and he's our first ever district director, Samir. So we have Mr. Samir Hussain. Mr. Samir, would you like to introduce yourself? And if you can, please turn on your video.
Hey guys, thank you for the introduction and honored to know that I share a name with somebody who is of this prestige in this club. So yes, I joined Toastmasters based on a recommendation from one of my colleagues from India, and he recommended me that I should, join such sort of a thing. So I saw a couple of videos as well of KTC on YouTube, which are, I think, uploaded once recorded. So I found it a bit interesting and wanted to explore more and be part of the club so that I can just improve upon and learn more on the public speaking art. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samir, and hope you have a good time. So we are through with the guests that we have today. So the attendance today suggests that people love in-person meetings.
Yes.
Yes.
But they love to see them on the Zoom screen. Nevertheless, I'm grateful for everyone who joined on Zoom. But a part of me wishes that perhaps the balance of presence would have been far greater here, given the hue and cry and noise that people make about having to attend online. But okay, fine. The rant is over now, and I feel honored and privileged that our first meeting of the year will be hosted by Toastmaster Maria Marif. She is a Scrabble champion, a debater, a medical student, but above all, she is an amazing speaker. And she has been part of Karachi Toastmasters Club despite her busy schedule. She has always contributed, and she doesn't know it, but she is the inspiration for many of our members. So please put your hands together for Toastmaster Maria.
So am I audible and visible? I'll make sure I ask this question every time. Okay. So this is a new challenge, a new setting. So we have to make sure that we have our eyes everywhere. And we also have our eyes at places we cannot see, that is online. Toastmaster Talha is really good with introductions. And no matter what I do, I can never introduce him the way he introduces other people. He definitely excels at it. With that said, all of you must have seen the agenda, and the theme of the meeting is restart. So I'd like to ask the people sitting here, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear restart? Anyone?
Restarting the computer.
Yeah, whenever something goes wrong, restart.
Exactly. This is the first thing that came to my mind. Well, the very first step is to hit it a few times.
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it. If my phone doesn't work or the remote doesn't work or the computer just stops out of nowhere, I hit it a few times. It does work at times, but then you restart it. Okay. But here you shut it down and then you restart it. But here, when we say at KTC, we have the theme of the meeting restart, that definitely does not mean that we're shutting the club for some time or turning it or powering it off. Instead, we mean that we have a restart in terms of a new XCOM with us. So we have seen how the previous XCOM has done wonders, made records, achieved so many things, but the new XCOM definitely has newer challenges. As Toastmaster Talha just gave us a hint about upgrading. So that's going to be a restart. Toastmaster Talha told us how we made it into the top 5 clubs. So restarting once over all again and having this ambition and goal to make it to the top club in the world, hopefully. And also, by restarting, we also mean that we have a new format. So before the pandemic, we did, in fact, DTM Talha did have this idea in his mind of having hybrid meetings. But at times we need something to push us into achieving those goals, because yes, it is a strenuous process. It takes so much time, effort, and energy, and we can already see that we do have a lot of challenges to overcome. But then again, we did it because we wanted more and more people to attend those meetings, and we did not want any geographical boundary to become a limitation for our members. We want members to join us all over, from all across the world, and regardless of their busy schedules, it is just a click away. So that definitely does, I think that this is how we put the meeting theme in perspective, and this is how we restart, a fresh start. With that said, the format of the meetings remain the same, and that is we are going to have 3 segments. The first one being the prepared speeches. We have altogether 8 prepared speeches, and I hope all the prepared speakers and evaluators are definitely present. Then we have the table topic session. So we are going to have some time constraints. Obviously, it's already 7:05. So we're going to limit it to probably 5 speakers, but we'll try to keep it in time. And then we have the general evaluation session. So with that said, I guess we should now introduce our role holders for the meeting. And with that, I would like to introduce the first role holder, that is the grammarian who has joined us online, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani.
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So today I will be playing, I think, 2 roles according to the VP Education. I'll be also the word master. So being a grammarian, I need to check that, whoever is speaking, they are speaking correctly. they are using the right words, right grammar, including myself, which it's a challenge for me also. So for a word master, I think you all seen the word in the agenda, but I want to share my screen because I just put an example there. If I can be allowed to.
Cannot be seen.
Just a second. Okay.
Okay. You can see my screen. Sorry. Somebody. There's a noise, I think, somebody's mic is open. Word of the day is recapitulate. Means summarize and state again the main points of. And we can use as an example that he began to recapitulate his argument with care. Or I recapitulate my thoughts today for a word master and a grammarian together. I hope you hear that.
Yes, we do hear that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
That's called too much of a good thing.
all right. The next role holder is someone who is present physically right now here with us, and that is the timer Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters and guests. No, I'm perfectly fine. So I'm the timer today. So those who are joining from, they need to pin my mobile screen. And those who are physically present, they need to see these lights. So it goes like, my role is to ensure that meeting settings are on time, and there are different timing for different segments. For table topics, we have the speaker has to speak for about 1 minute, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. At 1 minute, for the physical one, I'll turn on the green light, and at those who are present on Zoom, I'll show the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card and also turn on the yellow light. At 2 minutes, I'll show the red card, also turn on the red light. This means the speaker has to wrap up his speech because after 30 seconds, he will be going to disqualify the sound of this bell. Hearing after time. And same signal goes for the prepared speeches, 5, 6, 7, green, yellow, red, and other projects have the same signals. Over to you.
Thank you, Imran. So you see how difficult it is. Like already the timer is very challenging, and now we have to manage online as well as. Okay. The next role holder we have is the R counter that will be played by Toastmaster Taha.
Am I audible? Yes, you are. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So today, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I am the R counter, and I will be counting the bad filler words, the R's, the and long pauses, and those words that are not to be used while you are speaking. I mentioned to silence your phone. So at the end of the meeting, I will give you a report that how our prepared speeches went through and how speakers use these filler words. So thank you. Over to you.
PM Taha, the next role we have is of the listener, and that would be played by a very active member who I did wish was here with us physically, but anyway, better present online than not being present at all. The listener, Toastmaster Hiba.
Thank you, dear Mariam, for the introduction, and fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the listener, I would be making note of all the interesting words and phrases spoken by the speaker during the table topic session, during the prepared speeches, and also the entire session as a whole. So please keep your ears open, and at the end of the session, I would be calling out those interesting words and phrases, and people, the audience will have to get it. So good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. And now we have to ensure that all the technical stuff goes right. We have the technical host who will also be playing the role as the vote counter, and any other roles that we have, we'll give it to him. Distinguished Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much. And yes, I'm the technical host. My tech savviness can be judged by how smoothly this meeting is going.
And how
strict is Yeah, exactly. As the vote counter, I will be counting the votes. You will be asked to vote during 5 occasions in this meeting. Best prepared speaker, best table topic speaker, best evaluator, best facilitator, and best big 4. On all those 5 occasions, there will be a Google poll floated on the club's WhatsApp group. And you'll be asked to vote. Perhaps I'll also float it on the Zoom chat box. As the vote counter, I'm not allowed to vote myself unless there's a tie. At the end of the meeting, I'll be reporting the results of the votes to the president, who conveniently happens to be myself. So just use your imagination, and over to you.
Thank you, DTM Talha. And now, when all the roles and facilitators are done, there's just the last role left. And that is the best part. In fact, is my favorite role. But with that is also being played by a very special person today, who happens to be someone who excels at humor, someone who excels at sarcasm, who is very witty, and who is also special because it's a special day for him, the birthday boy today.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Asma. Happy birthday to you.
My condition is by the end of the job, all of you have to laugh.
You're already laughing.
Okay. So here is the job. There was a man who was playing golf with his friend in a golf course. The first man was about to to strike, when he suddenly sees a long funeral procession on the road next to the golf course. He suddenly stops and takes off his golf cap, closes his eyes, and goes in prayer. The first man, seeing him bewildered, and said, "What a thoughtful and touching moment I have ever seen. You must be a kind and caring man." The second man said, "Yeah, well, actually, we were married for 35 years. Thank you."
Thank you, TM Asghar. And with that said, we have introduced all the facilitators who will be facilitating us throughout the meeting and giving the report at the end of the meeting. With that said, it is 7:16. Should we start the prepared speech session? Yes. Okay. So we have the first prepared speaker, who is Toastmaster Ramsha Shahid, who's a new member. I believe you are Toastmaster.
She's online.
Okay, she's online. Okay. The project entitled is Innovative Planning Level 1 Pathway to Evaluation and Feedback And the title of the speech is Think Optimistic in This Negative World. And she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Hiba, can you please introduce the project objectives?
Okay, fellow Toastmasters, TM Ramsha Shahid will be doing innovative planning, level 1, part 2, evaluation and feedback. The title of her speech is Think Optimistic in This Negative World. And the timing of her speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And the objective for the speech is, there are two. The first one is the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback and apply the feedback to a second speech. And the second objective is the purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Over to TM Ramsha. The stage is yours.
Okay, I've pinned that. Okay. So if you want to start to feel happy, then it starts with you wanting to feel happy. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The topic for my speech today is Think Optimistic in This Negative World. Sometimes it's hard to be happy when you look around what's going on in your life. It's harder still when the people around you constantly complain about what's going on in their life. That doesn't mean that you have to join them. In fact, that means it's more important than ever to look on the bright side as much as possible. The other day, I was reading a book named The Secret, and throughout that book, one thing that was being said continuously was that thoughts are magnetic. And just the way how magnets attract things, thoughts also attract things. So if you're thinking good about the situation, you are attracting good. But if you're not thinking good about that situation, you can attract the worst. Sometimes it's okay to acknowledge that bad things might happen. After all, ignoring the reality isn't helpful. So optimism isn't about ignoring the reality or you make light of problems. It simply means that you approach the good and bad in life with the expectation that things will turn out well. You are the one that knows that what is the direction, the direction of your life. So always make dominant thought as a positive thinking, whatever you are thinking, because as I said, that thoughts are magnetic. And just the way how magnet attract things, thoughts also attract things. So if you're thinking good about that situation, you are on track with your desires. But if you're not thinking about good of that situation, you're off track with your desires. So optimists are usually the ones that usually end up the most content. They are the ones that get the furthest in life, and we should all want to be optimists, right? But the fact is that we aren't, because we choose not to. Actually, optimism isn't about you ignore the reality or anything of that sort. It's just about your dominant thought. There are two thoughts. One thought is submissive, and other thought is dominant. So what your dominant thought, if that's positive, you are creating that thing. This will also attract things. So try to make dominant thought as a positive. That is one thing which is the most out of optimism you can make. So that
Let's wait.
sorry, my internet got disconnected. Am I audible?
Yes, please resume. Yeah.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, where was I? Yeah. So when you really want something, there is a saying that when you really want something, the whole universe conspires with you to make that happen. You guys must have listened to this quote that thoughts like attract things. In the same way, sometimes you guys might have experienced this, that some sometimes that you think of something random and it happens moment later, that's because of your dominant thought. So just the way how works, that is what known as optimism. So yeah, that is that. Whatever you want, you have to make that in your mind. Whatever the situation is, you have to think positive aspects of that situation. The way you want to lead your life is in your has happened into your life. You can always begin to consciously choose.
She's here. Toastmaster Ramsha, you're here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, please resume. Please resume.
So I was at my conclusion. So concluding everything, optimism is basically the practice of thinking good about situation is. It can have a big impact on your physical and mental health. So try to opt this thing. Let me know what you're thinking about optimism is. Thank you.
Is that a question, Toastmaster Ramsha, to the audience?
I think she's gone offline again. Yeah, she's back online. Yeah.
Yes, what were you saying? I did not hear that.
Toastmaster Ramsha, was that a question to the audience about what we think optimism is?
Yes, I would love if you have any opinion on optimism. I would love to hear that.
I believe optimism.
Optimism.
Yes.
Yeah, if I may.
So what is optimism? Anyone?
Yeah, if I may.
Whatever you think or whatever you have experienced.
Yeah, please, Toastmaster Hina, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe optimism is when faced with any situation, instead of thinking of there being a downside or a failure, try to look at it and try to find a challenge or something positive in it. In the simplest terms, when somebody looks at a glass, you see it as half full rather than half empty, if you are an optimistic person. Over to you.
Definitely. Okay,
I
so
second.
yeah. Anyone else?
I think optimism is always having something to look forward to.
To stay positive even in difficult situations is
yes.
Be optimistic.
Counting your blessings whenever you are in trouble. And whenever you feel low, just count your blessings.
Yes, definitely. Just count your blessings, whatever the bad or the circumstances are, you just have to see whatever the positive aspects of that situation. So that's what optimism is. It's basically a practice. The more you practice it, the more you become expert in it. So yeah, that was that. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramsha. We did have some technical issues, but never mind. We'll gradually learn and adapt and not let these obstacles or hurdles stop us from achieving what we want. So with that said, let us move towards the next speech. The speaker of which is someone who's a very active Toastmaster in the Toastmaster community, who is now the president of Islamabad Toastmasters Club, and that is Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. Her project is Dynamic Leadership Level 4, Managing Difficult Audience. And the project title is Sustainable Development Goals in Pakistan. And her evaluator is the new treasurer, TM Ali Ashar Anjum. Can you please introduce the project?
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. My targeted speaker is Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, and the purpose is for the member to practice the skill needed to address audience challenges when she present the outside of the Toastmaster. So best of luck, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alisha Raju. So how many of you have ever heard about the acronym SDGs? Can anyone tell me what are SDGs?
Sustainable Development Goals, I think.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Hina. I'm happy that our nation is now well aware about sustainable development and taking actions for the protection of our planet. So, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, today I will discuss about the history of Sustainable Development Goals, their significance, and the status of SDGs in Pakistan. So, what are SDGs? SDGs are known as universal goals, and they were actually officially launched in 2015 when all the UN member states were asked to sign and launch to sign these was asked to work on these goals in order to reduce poverty, to protect the planet, in order to develop peace and make this planet a beautiful place for all the citizens, all of the people living in this planet. So, who actually established Sustainable Development Goals? Sustainable Development Goals were officially launched in 2012 at the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in 2012. And they were officially launched in 2015, and when Pakistan also launched in 2015 as well. So how many of you know that what is the exact number of SDGs? Anyone? Yes, 17. We have total 17 sustainable development goals. They cover all aspects of people, prosperity, and protection, and about Earth. And these someone is saying something. Someone is speaking. I cannot hear.
Yes, I most certainly am. Yeah. Getting your point.
Thank you. Okay, so we were talking about that these 17 goals are actually cover the different aspects of people, planet, protection, and peace. And these 17 goals are further divided into 266 indicators and 169 indicators and 266 targets. And these goals are further divided into 4 sectors. The first one is about social sector. The second one is about development sector. The third one is about environment, in which we consider about different environmental issues like climate change, protection of terrestrial land, protection of marine life. And the last one is the most important one, is about the government sector, which includes legal justice. And then the last goal, which is very important, is the 17 goal. It's about global partnerships. And we cannot achieve all these goals without global partnerships by including governments, academia, developing states. So it's more important to
Toastmaster Noreen, I
Yes.
tend to disagree with you over here.
Okay.
Government is not required. We can have private partnerships globally. So why is government required? I don't think so.
Okay, I think I'll Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, I'll answer your question at the end. Now I'll try to answer this during the meeting is that, and during the speech is that we all need to take a government institutions. We need private sector, we need academia, we need developing countries, we need the developed states as well. So only then we will be able to achieve all these goals. So when
But I still have a disagreement.
Okay. I think we can discuss it later.
I agree with Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Sorry?
I agree with Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. We don't need governments.
Okay.
Why should we? I mean, there are sustainable development goals, right? We can just do them ourselves.
We cannot, because our social means we have to cover all the actors which involve. We need to take our, if we cannot take the government.
How about just doing 14 goals instead
will
of
not be
17?
able to implement them in a proper manner. We
How
need
about
to
just doing
have
14 goals?
we need to have every type of group. Only because sustainable development goals has objective that no one leaves behind. Only then we can achieve these universal goals.
All right. So how about just doing 14 goals? I mean, like by 17. Why do we need 17 goals?
Okay, they were on 12th in the last Sustainable Development Conference. We had a list of different list of experts who actually in 2006 actually Millennium Development Goals were defined, and there was 7 in number. However, with the passage of time, we learned we need to include all further goals in order to cover different social, environmental issues. So that's why after the focal discussions and open house discussions, these 17 goals are defined, and every goal has different reason and different purpose. And they all exclusively cover the social and environmental issues of our planet. So we were moving toward, yes.
Okay.
You want to say something more, Toastmaster Rusa?
No, I believe you.
Okay, thank you. We can discuss it later as well. So we were talking about that how many, what's the status of Pakistan about SDGs? While Pakistan also signed SDGs in 2015 and it showed great commitment, it is also included in the 2030 development agenda. And we have developed a special secretariat for SDGs. And however, we are facing some issues after the 18th Amendment dilemma that all the sectors have been divided and powers have been devolved into provinces. So it's difficult to have.
Hi, कैसी हैं आप? Long time no see. Where have you been?
I was busy in Islamabad. I am coming definitely to Karachi soon.
No, sorry. I was not talking to you.
Okay.
I was talking to someone who I saw after months. Toastmaster Maria Marif, where have you been?
Welcome Toastmaster Mariam. Thanks for joining. So we were discussing that why we need to, why Pakistan felt the need to adapt SDGs. When we talk about Pakistan is facing different societal issues, we are facing economic issues. Pakistan is also suffering from environmental issues. Pakistan is considered to be the 7th most vulnerable country to climate change. We are also facing a water crisis as well. So in order to tackle all these challenges, Pakistan also signed SDGs in 2016. And Pakistan has divided SDGs on which it is working into 3 categories. The first one is the social, economic, and environmental one. Pakistan is working on SDG 1 for zero hunger, and it has started different programs, and it has somehow affected and reduced the poverty. And we have also developed a fast food program, which is also a good indication and play a good role in reducing the poverty program. And also, when you talk for health, it is also working on SDG 2 and 3 for improved health and improved food. For that, it has also applied zero hunger program, and we have also the health worker program, which will play an important role in improving the health quality of our citizens of Pakistan. And the last but not least, Pakistan has also strong commitment for environmental protection. As we can see that this year, Pakistan has hosted World Environment Day, which is a big achievement for Pakistan because Pakistan has done great contribution towards climate change. And that's why this year, UN has allowed Pakistan to host a World Environment Day. So fellow Toastmasters, You all know.
You have not answered my question.
I answered. I will answer it after the speech as well. So we were discussing, fellow Toastmasters, that Pakistan won't be able to achieve all these goals by the end of 2030. However, if Pakistan will continue to go with the same pace and commitment towards these SDGs, Pakistan would definitely be at a good place by the end of 2047. Pakistan, Zindabad.
I'm sure she would have taken a sigh of relief. Bigger audience, I wonder what will I do when I do this project. But anyway, this does mean that we need to cross talk a lot. So let's just take a short break so that we can have all the chit chat that we had to do during the speech of Toastmaster Noreen. So we'll take a 10-minute prayer and tea break, and we'll resume after that. So it's 7:41. We'll be back at 7:51 then.
Yeah. And prayer and tea for us who are at the Beach Luxury Hotel.
Yeah.
While just tea for you guys. So.
So we are finally back from break that was supposed to be for 10 minutes, but now it's of 20 minutes. And so we didn't want to go on with the break. So let's just call the next speaker that we have, and that is Toastmaster Rabia Tabassum Zishan, who is present here with us physically. And her project is Presentation Mastery Level 1, Project 3, Research and Presenting, and her project title is Borders and Boundaries. Her time limit is from 5 to 7 minutes, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Taha Hassan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So today my target speaker is Toastmaster Rabia. She will be presenting as mentioned by the Toastmaster of the day, Presentation Mastery Level 1, Project 3, if I'm correct. By profession, she's a mom, a volunteer of the Citizen Foundation. And one thing is really unique and really great about her is she's also working on a project to provide clean water to the villagers of the interior Sindh. That's really good. So the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research method and present well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. The topic, speech title and topic of the day is border and boundaries. Speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. The Toastmaster Rabia Tabassum, best of luck.
Is the slide visible? Okay.
Yes.
Am I visible? I think you just
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
You are.
Thank you so much, TM Taha Hassan. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. We are defined not by our borders, but by our bonds. Wisely said by Barack Obama. Next slide, please. Next slide. Borders. Borders are real or imaginary lines which define a geographical region. Next slide. Borders are, a border outlines the area that a particular governing body controls. It may be a country or a city, town, counties, states, and anything which represents a governing body. The governing bodies can only enforce laws within their own boundaries, and those laws are not affected outside the boundaries. Next. Borders are created in different manners. A border usually they are political in nature, and they are created when two or more countries or powerful group of entities either fight with themselves or they agree upon. So a few ways in which a border may be is agreed by countries on both sides. Or sometimes they are imposed by only one country. The powerful country can impose their boundary on the people, on the countries, the areas surrounding them. Thirdly, borders can also be imposed by third parties. Example, an international conference like the United Nations or the Geneva Convention. A border may have been inherited from a former state or a superpower. And a border, in some cases, like the Soviet USSR, when it was broken down, the cities which used to be former cities of Soviet USSR, when the Russia broke up, all those cities became their own countries, and they defined their borders, which were previously the cities, but now they were countries, and they had their own laws within those countries, like Bosnia and Yugoslavia. These are all former cities of the great USSR. Next slide. Sometimes a border are never formally defined, and it's in very few cases like the Arctic or the Antarctic. Now I will tell you about some of the classification of the borders. Next slide, please. I will define some of the very few and the important one of the borders, types of borders. The first border is the political border. It is an imaginary line between two countries, and it is created to border off the countries and the powers which rule in that countries. For example, the USA and Mexico border. And this line separates one political unit from another. In the second case, natural border. These are geographical features that present as a natural obstacle when we are communicating or while transporting. For example, the Alpine border. This is the Alpine mountain range, which divides the country Austria and Slovenia. Similarly, in the case of China and Nepal, also Mount Everest is their border. How we cannot get grander than this, the border. So in natural borders, the borders may be rivers, mountains, oceans, lakes. The natural entities become borders themselves. Next.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Imran, can you turn on your video? And both Imrans. That may be, yeah. So, in keeping with the theme of the meeting, the restart actually worked. So, congratulations, everyone.
It always does.
Yeah.
So let us get back with the speeches. The next speaker we have is Toastmaster Azhar Khan. Presentation Mastery Level 5 Project 2, Prepare to Speak Professionally. He will be evaluated by, again, a very active Toastmaster, Toastmaster Ali Hussain Babur. Toastmaster Ali, can you please introduce the project objectives?
Ali is in the meeting or not? Yeah, he's in the
He was in the meeting.
I have to pay my own money.
Should I call the next speaker instead? Toastmaster, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Azhar. Toastmaster Azhar is delivering his speech from level 5, presentation mastery. His speech is somewhat a longer speech. The title of the speech is Creative Things. Please welcome Toastmaster Azhar. And timer, please note down the time. The speech timing is from 18 to 22 minutes. So please welcome Toastmaster.
Just a few seconds though. I just realized I had to download the presentation.
Can you run my video?
G, of course.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to share creative thinking. How can we use creative thinking? Right now, I'm sharing my presentation. Prepare to speak professionally. So next slide. Creative thinking. Maybe someone will not see the proper video, I think so, but I'm explaining.
It's visible.
There? Okay. Creative thinking. Nowadays, everyone talk about the out of the box. Creative thinking, ideas, a situation, unique thing. But no one exactly listens about it. How can take inspiration? How can generate ideas? Basically, how can a good creative person in poetry, literature, in fine art, commercial art, in anywhere. And nowadays, we are seeing the e-commerce solution. They are very in need of creative designs in creative people. Need creative content, creative visuals, creative poster, banner, each and everything. If you see the on a wall, there is something creative artist art. It's a very creative thing. Same exactly. We want to be a good creative. Now, one by one, I explain my experience and I will share with you. Sir, next slide. There are some points, some key points I share one by one, like catharsis, inspiration, doodling, USP, idea, and education. Before these key points, I'll share 2 and 3 personalities because I think so. It's a very necessary. We have to discuss about that. This is a sculpture. This is a Plato. Around 3,000 years back, before the Visa, Jesus Christ, he born in Athens city in Greece. Many people said that about the Plato, he born poet. He student of Socrates, student of Aristotle. Basically, he shared his experience in the world. He said that if you want to be a good poet, it means you should have good knowledge in educated background. According to Plato, if you want to be a good poet, good creative person, it means you should be around 50 in mature age. But I'm talking, if I say anyone 50, maybe our room will be empty. But Plato, according to Plato, you should know each and everything. Then you should start poetry. Otherwise, you will create content and you share your views, your experience with people. It means you will see the worst situation. Poet, any 80% should have good mentality, good positive thinking, then start the poetry. Otherwise, according to Plato, we shouldn't start the poetry and we should not part of the poetry. So these are basically at the time 2 and 3% were creative, fine artists, and poet and actors. But nowadays there are many fields, but it's actually same. Because if you want to do any creative thing, we should follow the basic rules. Sir, next slide. Aristotle. Aristotle is a Greek philosopher. He was born in Stagira in Greece. After 20 years, he moved from Straga to Athens and he learned from the Plato. He's a student of the Plato. He said that poet and writers are very creative, a very unique person. According to Aristotle, when you think about, when any person think about the content, it means he's not regular the people. Is that something different and very out of the box person. We should respect them and we should give some space in our society. Yes, sir. Next slide. There are some catharsis. Maybe most of them people listen about this word catharsis. Maybe some people not listen, did not listen hear about it. Catharsis. Sir, give me a yes or no. Do you hear? Yes. Yes. Madam, do you hear this? No. Catharsis. Okay. Next slide. Sir, next slide. Catharsis. Do you have any idea about the F5 in the keyboard? What is the meaning? What is the work of F5?
Restart.
Restart, refresh, reboot, reload, clear the cache. And again, just for example, you go to washroom, it's face the wash, then you see again you can see the mirror. It makes you feel something freshness. Aristotle first time present in the world the catharsis philosophy. Do you have any idea where is your F5 in your body? The brain. And other stuff? Anyone can guess? Sleep. In sleep time. Okay, so very good. And food. Yeah, that's good. And sir, what's your opinion? Is the F5 button in your body?
I would say sleep.
Okay. Okay. According to Aristotle, when you see any drama, any poetry, okay, I'm talking about the current time. If you see any movie, like any good character, at the time you're watching the movie, you are thinking about you are like him, you are like her, because they are not role model. These are super quality of member. You forget each and everything about the society. You don't remember what is the problem. Few minutes back, what's your problem? You forget it. If you're watching the tragedy, you feel some kind of tragedy. If you you are watching the comedy and you are watching some action, so you feel you are working over there, like him, like them. After a few minutes, picture has finished, then you come to your seat in the mind. It's called catharsis. But during this time, your mind has been refreshed. It's called catharsis. But if you don't want to move it, it's no problem. You perform free. You can publish it. You can go to a park. You go to outside. Each and everything which what you like, and you do this. After that, you feel relaxed. Then it's called catharsis. It's a very necessary for the any creative person. Without catharsis, you can't do good work. So it's a very necessary and good. First, don't forget whenever you start the work, so first you need the catharsis, then you start the work. Can move to the next slide. Inspiration. Almost all people know about it. Inspiration. What do you think, Ali? You know about the inspiration? Okay, no problem. I'll explain. Whenever you see the flowers, good landscapes, mountain, jungles, each and everything. You feel you see the colors and good architect of Allah. Allah created the many things, and you will take inspiration from the like colors, like mountain, ups and downs. It means you are taking inspiration. If you are a fine artist, you are a commercial artist, you take inspiration from the flowers and you take from the landscapes. So next slide. If you are on a mountain and you see the landscape, whole landscape, not exactly you see the properly any hard and tree and everything, but you see the area view. It means when you paint the right anything, then you're talking about the area view about it. How is your feeling right now when you stand on the top of the mountain on a building? You see, it's inspiration. So next slide. Doodling. What is a doodling? Okay.
To draw.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Tiny draw.
Little bit dry. If you're artist, designer, anything you are related to art field, so you should be a good doodling maker. If you see anything, whenever in free time, you can start a doodling. Whatever, what you want. Chair, table, lights, each and everything. Because whenever you made any doodling, it was after that you memorize in the mind. When you start your work, forget this shape or this moment. Whenever you see that this is how we listen anything, song, anything, and I'm making any doodling. Whenever I see again, it's called automatically my song and character. It isn't 2 minutes. So it's necessary you should practice about doodling. So next. This is an example of doodling. So next. USP. Unique selling point. Do you have an idea about any brand? What is the brand? What is the commodity? Do you have any idea? What is the brand in? What is the commodity? Commodity is raw material, brand name is name, something. If you buy a soap without any name, it's called to grocery. But you buy any soap, detergent, diaper, it's very specific name of this product, so it's called to brand. And every brand has a USP. By right now, do you have an idea? You are looking any brand in the room? Yes or no? Yes.
iPhones.
Everyone is a person is a brand because you have a name. And you have some specialty. If you know about your specialty, it means it's your strength. If you don't know, so you should search in your body, in your mind, what is your specialty. This is a unique selling point. So next slide. It's a very common. You should know your strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. The strength means you are very good things. It's a good ideas, good experience. Any you got in your life, reward and award in your activity. It means it's a your strength. Weakness, if you fail in a life, so you should be a constructive failure, not a destructive failure. If you are failing in a life, so you should not disappoint with that. You should be a constructive failure, and you should remove your weakness. Opportunity, you have the mentor, you have the teacher, you have the seniors, you have so many content. Google, everywhere. You connect them and discuss your problem. It's an opportunity. Threat, when you offer anything, it will finish one by one. And you will see you will be a good unique selling point person. and then you write and you paint, you draw anything, you will discover very well. So next one. Idea and execution. The simple idea, it's idea and execution.
Idea, generation of ideas, and then executing it. Coming up with new ideas.
What do you think?
Thinking of something and then planning it how you will implement whatever.
Yes, madam.
Something which comes automatically to our mind.
Yeah. When you start any work, basically we are a public speaker. We are achieving milestone. We are going to upside, and we are crossing the day by day, one by one, and we are learning new things. And think about let's suppose I want to prepare my speech, but I have no any single point in my mind. But suddenly select one thing, it's called work. And execution, you should know how can you execute your idea. Without execution, you can't sell your idea. Maybe it's a very precious and very expensive idea, but without good execution, without excellent execution, you can't sell your idea. If any field, it doesn't matter if you have the 1 year experience or 1 decade experience, but you should know how can you execute your idea. Without execution, you can't sell out. You can show anyone who you are and where are you going. So next slide. There are 3 boards. First, idea, means suddenly over idea. Second, execution. These are working. If you have some weaknesses, it doesn't matter. You should relate it to your field master. Join this league and discuss your problem, and you should start your work on this. After that, idea, execution, third is achievement. You will get achievement. It's my personal experience, and I have seen my seniors, my teachers' experiences. If you want to be a good public speaker, if you want to be a good creative thinker, if you want to be a good poet, fine artist, digital artist, anything, you should work on these elements. Never forget about it, the classes. Never about your specialty. If you kill your mentality, your creativity, so you will never get that thing which you want. Creativity is not any product. You push the button and get the product. No, it's a peace of mind. I know that everyone has a problem. Everyone has a worse situation. Everyone has a difficult situation in their life. But it means that we should leave that creativity. No. We should work on that elements. We should go. We should move forward. Yeah, right. Sir, what do you think about it? What do you think about the idea and execution achievement? What's your any opinion about it?
Idea is very necessary because without ideas, you will not be able to do things. You will not be able to innovate anything. You will not be able to fulfill the needs of humanity. You will not be able to succeed. Ideas are very important, and then making those ideas transform into the execution. Again, that is the step which is very, very necessary.
Yeah, I agree with you. GQ is my mentor. Basically, I should discuss about it. All of that is my mentor. You should talk about my mentor. You should go at this point, okay? So today I'm listening about the creative thinking, idea, execution, with each other. Anyone can ask me any question. If you have any problem about these any my steps, then I can reply. Almost I'm finished. Almost on.
You said idea and execution. Where is the plan? And what do you mean by idea? Is it a learn also what of the idea, then you have the idea, then you have a strategy, then you have a plan, and after that comes the execution.
Okay, sir. It is a good solution. I really appreciate that. Sir, basically, I'm talking about the creative thinking. It means you have already have a plan. If you are a fine artist, so you have the brush and you have a canvas. Already you have as in your home, your office, but you want to draw something new painting. Because everyone will see your painting. And after that, he will give a number. I know that it's a bit after long time you will be a very commercial and professional. You can sell out your painting, but not after you go to selling and buying. But I'm talking about the creative thing. First, once you get that creative execution, then you will move forward. Does anyone can ask any confusion about my any key points? Ali, Saad, do you have any questions? Not yet. No problem. No problem. Yes, I really appreciate you listening to me, and you maybe you will get you got my some new experience about my experience, but it's a very difficult and very new and difficult topic for everyone, because the creative thing is not easy task, and how can be a creative thinker. But I share some my experience and key points. Maybe it will be benefit for you in the future. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Azhar. The next speaker we have is Toastmaster Kareem Meghani, who is with us online and who's also doing the role of facilitator for the meeting. Toastmaster Kareem's project is Motivational Strategy Level 2, Understanding Your Communication Style. His speech title is What I Am Doing Wrong, and he will be evaluated, someone who just switched her role from a speaker to an evaluator, Toastmaster Rabia.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhi. TM Kareem Meghani is does not need any introduction in the Karachi Toastmasters Club. He is the most active member, one of the most active members of the club. His pathway today is Motivational Strategies Level 2. The purpose of his speeches of this project is for the member to learn about different communication style and identify his primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. Topic of this speech is What Am I Doing Wrong? TM Kareem Meghani. TM Kareem Meghani, what am I doing wrong?
I'm audible to everyone?
Yes.
I understand TM Imran Rana is the timer?
Yes.
Why my voice is just 1 second. What I did wrong. What I did wrong. Why this person left me. Why people leave my office. Why my subordinates left me so quickly. Is it I'm too demanding? What is the problem with me? What is the issue? Last 3 years, 3 assistants left me. Wow. Something I'm doing wrong. Toastmaster of the day, dear Toastmasters and guests, I'm reflecting on my life, on my work. And I'm trying to understand that what I'm doing wrong, why people, 3 assistants left me in last 6 years working with me. I asked my previous boss, I said, President, you know, these assistants keep leaving me. We are achieving several things. We are working hard. We are having so much of fun. And, you know, we as the leaders, as a senior leadership, President, yourself, we are working together so nicely. Everything is going so good. But in Madagascar, my subordinates are not happy to me. I think they are not happy with me. It seems because they are leaving so quickly. 1 year, one subordinate left. 2 years, another subordinate left. Just last month, one subordinate left. I said, let's do an exit interview. I said, Karim, we don't need an exit interview. You know what is your problem? You keep working, but you don't communicate well with your subordinates. I said, sir, how can you say that? Do you think I have a communication problem? He said, Karim, you don't have a communication problem with me, but I think you have a communication problem with your subordinates. I said, sir, how can it be possible? I'm so gentle. Sometimes I help them personally. I assist them. I try to work with them. I talk to them. I ask them everything. Karim, go back. Look at your communication style. I didn't think about it a lot. I said, maybe the people have a different career ambitions and everything. But then I came to this Toastmaster level, my level 2 communication styles. And then I start doing this analysis, this survey. There are 4 different styles: directing, initiating, supportive, and analytical. I'm not an analytical person. I like data, but I don't impose data on my reports. But I like to be more emotional about my work. So what is the issue? I thought I'll be a very supportive leadership style. But when I did the survey, it surprised me. My communication style is directed. I keep doing orders to my subordinates. Can you imagine? Yeah, you can imagine because you are seeing me right now in front of you, and I'm quite a tall guy. If you see the subordinates, all are very small height guys, and I look like a 50 years old. So every time when I give them orders, this is Sir, Karim sir is giving us an order, so we have to do it. But then I start reflecting on it more. I'm just giving orders which I need, the work need to be done. I'm doing constantly working most of the time. Before that, when I was in Syria, my subordinates is still talking to me. They are still in connection with me. So I didn't have any problem in Syria. But how can this right now in this Madagascar's context, certainly everybody is saying that I have a communication problem. Then I start reflecting what I am doing every day at work. I'm coming office, I'm giving some work to all my subordinates and sitting in my office most of the time with a headphone because I like to listen BBC, sometimes to the news because I have to produce a lot of reports and I have to work on the data. So when I'm putting the headphone that I don't know what the other staff wants me, I told them from the beginning, come to my office anytime, ask me anything. That's it. But I'm working, we are achieving a lot of things. Again, communication, I told them, these are the works, these are the tasks which I need to be done. And I'll be working on a report, probably with my headphone on because I'll be concentrating, I'll be working. I'll be listening a podcast, but I'll be working constantly. So I asked one person, and that subordinate told me, Karim sir, you are great in your work. You achieve a lot of things, but you direct us, but you don't speak to us. You don't take interest in us. And we feel neglected. I need to recapitulate my ideas. Why? What I'm doing wrong? I need to change my communication style. I need to be more supportive. And you know why? Syrian people are talking to me because they like directing style. That was a different culture. But Madagascar, my president told me that, go back and try to be more supportive. You are a great person, you are achieving great results, but your communication style is become too bossy. What I am doing wrong? I got the answer. I am trying to change my communication style today onward after this project. I hope you learn something from my example. Over to you, Toastmaster Uday.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kareem. So we have 3 speakers who are still left. The 6th speaker we have here is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. It's Leadership Development Level 2, Project 3, Understanding Your Leadership Style. And it's a long title. The fickle, overbearing, hyperactive, risk-loving, over-imaginative, indefatigable, rogue warrior. So I'm really looking forward to this project. His evaluator is again a very experienced and a very senior Toastmaster, and we're grateful for her to join the meeting with us, and that is Toastmaster Hina Ali.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mariam. And indeed, it has been a long time, and I'm happy to be back in the club. Today, Toastmaster DTM Talha bin Hamid is doing his 3rd project from level 2 of the Leadership Development Pathway, which is understanding your leadership style or styles. And as Toastmaster Mariam already said, an extremely interesting and long title. The fickle, overbearing, hyperactive, risk-loving, over-imaginative, indefatigable rogue warrior. I had to look up that word. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his primary leadership style or styles. And the purpose of the speech is to share aspects of his leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Timer, please note, the project time is 5 to 7 minutes. Best of luck to you, DTM Talha.
Hey, am I audible and visible? Yes, you are. What is leadership? And how does one become a leader? And more importantly, why? Why are we so obsessed with leadership? Is it to serve a noble purpose? I don't think so. I think we're just afraid of getting trampled by others, and that's why we want to stand on a pedestal. In my 43 years on this planet, I have learned 3 lessons. First, no one is a leader. Second, everyone is a leader. And third, true leadership is not possible without a desire to serve. Are you confused yet? Of course, that's the job of a true leader, to confuse the followers. It is true that there have been many leaders in history. Satan was a leader, or is a leader. Hitler was a leader. Mussolini is a leader. Yet no one wants to follow them, I hope at least. Why? I'll give you one small litmus test. The jerks of this world like to call themselves leaders. So anyone calling themselves a leader is not likely worth following. Apply this to every leader you know. Anyone who is forcing their leadership upon you perhaps are not the true commodity. Why do I say that no one is a leader? Because we exist in this universe on which we have absolutely no control. We are just reacting to events and people around us. All the ideas that we have are a byproduct of collective human wisdom over the past centuries. We can't claim anything that something is truly original or our own. Our holy prophet said that don't walk on this earth as if you will shatter the sky or shatter the earth. You can do neither. That is our reality. We are just tiny beings on this speck of dust. And all we can do is to actually continue to think and continue to react and continue to try and control at least something. And that's why everyone is a leader. Because there's one person who you can control, who will always listen to you, and that person will attempt to stray off and go into new directions all the time. That person will try to follow their heart. That person will give you all kinds of trouble, but you'll always be able to rein them back if you want to. Who's that person? Not your spouse, not your kids, because congratulations, you have zero control over everyone else except you. So you are leading you, and that is why everyone is a leader. When I took the Pathways survey, two leadership styles emerged. The first one was innovative. And yes, I am innovative, I'm restless, I'm constantly looking at the future. I hate to do the same thing twice. I am overbearing, I'm adventurous, I'm a risk taker, I'm prone to errors, I move too fast, I'm hyper imaginative, I'm overactive, and all the other things that are in the title of the speech. And yet, I'm not afraid to make mistakes. I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself, because I know that due to my speed, I will do damage control just in time. And that works most of the time, at least 90% of the time it works. But that is not the end, because if I'm just merely this, I'm not an effective leader. I'm just being a leader to satisfy my own urges. I'm just being a leader to enforce my vision upon everyone else. And that is truly the definition of a leader that is not a leader. And that is why I'm glad to report that my second leadership trait was altruistic. And altruistic leadership envisions something that is done for the betterment of oneself and for everyone else. Something that is done in the greater interest of mankind. That is altruism. So next time you're obsessing about leadership, and next time you want to become a leader, ask yourself two questions. First, why do I want to become a leader? Am I running away from something? Or do I really want to change something? Secondly, next time, when you are out to do something, ask yourself this: will it benefit anyone other than myself? Apply this test to everything that you do, and the results will surprise you, because most of the stuff that we do, we tell ourselves that it is for the greater good, but in truth, we are indulging ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with indulging ourselves, except when there's no byproduct as benefit to your fellow human beings. So that, fellow Toastmasters and guests, is my definition of leadership. True leadership is not possible without a desire to serve. And true leaders don't call themselves leaders. True leaders work for the betterment of humanity, or at least their household, or at least their classroom, or at least their department, or their entity, or their organization, or their city, or their country. Without meeting this crucial requirement, I refuse to accept anyone as a leader. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Talha, for sharing so much about leadership. And next, we would like to have our second last speaker, who is Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, who is again a very active Toastmaster. He's very regular, and will be the first time I'll be hearing him speak physically. His project is Dynamic Leadership Level 3 from online to hybrid. And I'd like to request DTM Talha to come again and share his project objectives.
Who is a leader? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. So Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir will be delivering his project called Inspire Your Audience. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. The purpose of the speech is for the member to inspire the audience. The member needs to present a speech that inspires the audience. The speech content should be engaging in the speaker, entertaining, or moving. The speaker should be aware of audience response and adapt the speech as needed. So, no pressure, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. You're supposed to just inspire the audience, and that's pretty much it. And just mold your speech according to the audience reaction. And of course, you need to take into account the needs of each and every member of the audience. Absolutely a cakewalk for you. So Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, from online to hybrid. From online to hybrid, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, sorry, 5 to 7 minutes. Pin the timer, please.
I keep on spinning it. All right. As I entered the conference room, I saw DTM Sameer giving his opening remarks of international contest. DTM Shahrukh Shahnawaz was in contest chair. And 10 to 11 or 12 speakers were inspiring the audience. They were eloquent enough that the speech which they were delivering went directly to the heart of the audience. The ambience was amazing. The environment was very happening. I was greeted by DTM Talha, and I was taken directly to the tea, if I remember it correctly. So that was the first day I came to Toastmasters as a guest, and I saw and I witnessed international speech contest in which one of the participants and contestant was our Toastmaster of the day. I remember her speech. Yes, it was a very inspiring speech. And just like her, many of the contestants made me convinced, fully convinced, to join Toastmasters, but KTC itself. So that was the turning point itself. What was the reason why I was pulled to KTC? The reason being, I was going through a tough phase, a very tough phase in my career. Back in 2019, nothing was going right. Nothing was going on. My projects were going down. The sales volumes were going down. I was being bashed and bashed and bashed every day by my bosses. I was embarrassed in meetings. I was told, you are an incompetent person. And what happened as a result of that? As a result of that, my confidence went down, down, and down, down to the drains. And I thought, I'm nobody. I'm gone. I'm done with it. My voice used to get stuck over here. When I used to talk with people, my voice used to get stuck. My heart used to pound as if it will come out and it will pump outside. So that was the day I had to choose that I have to do something
which may disconnect me from my office because I kept on thinking my office 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which may give me a booster in my confidence, which may turn my life around. And yes, what happened then? I remember that day when I came from there to here to give my icebreaking speech. Same situation was happening. I was unable to speak, but I gathered my confidence. People clapped for me. I heard the sound of applause. I saw the faces, the encouraging faces, the body language. Everybody was so encouraging. I gave my icebreaker. The body language, the facial expressions, the gestures, the environment was so good that when I was going on my chair back, I remember DTM Tala coming to me and telling me, what an awesome speech. Would have happened if I would have been online? Would I have heard the sound of that applause, that encouragement, that mentorship? I would have just seen black screen. I would have been in my room. And nobody would have been there to help me out from the lows of life which I was going through. Yes, the only solution to learn is the physical meeting. And as a VP membership of this club, what I've learned in these past 2 weeks, I've been calling to the prospects. And the first thing which they ask, are you guys doing your physical meetings? Why? Why? Because they are going through the same phase that GQ was going at that time. They want to turn their life around. They want to change. They want to have the same level of confidence. They want to overcome their stage fright, which we all have gone through that phase. So I would urge the online audience. Let me speak to the online audience. Come to Beach Luxury next week. When we are here, we learn from each other. Toastmaster Rabi was just sitting next to me. And she asked me, what should I do over here? And I was quick enough to respond. Whether this would have been an online setup, this would not have happened. So this is the solution. This is the future. And this is how we are going to change our club back on our feet. Over to you, Toastmaster, today.
Thank you so much, TM Ghulam. And now moving on towards our last speaker for the day, who is none other than the VPPR, the new VPPR of Karachi Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. Motivational Strategy Level 1, Project 3, Research and Presenting. His speech is titled as Write What You Want. And he will be evaluated by our timer for the day.
No. Toastmasters.
Okay, Toastmasters Saj.
Ex-VPPR.
Okay. So the new VPPR being evaluated by the former VPPR, Toastmasters Saj.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali will be presenting his level one
You can leave
project
whenever you
three research and and presenting. The purpose of the project is for the member to learn and learn the basic research method and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. The speech length is 5 to the speed length is 5 to the speed length and is 5 to the speed length is 5 to and the speed length is 5 to the speed length 5 to is 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 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Before I start, just want to confirm, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, my evaluator, Toastmaster Saad. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want your story to be remembered, you have to write it well. So why can't we write down all those things, what we really want in life? What is stopping us if we need to achieve something? Here, my research and presentation is all about how to reduce your weight. That was my goal at around 6 months before, when I was weighing around 85 kilos. As I said, you are the writer. Just keep writing. Capture how you want to feel the end of your journey. Describe exactly what's going on inside you. Now, if you look at the picture, the left side, the green shirt, is me around 90 kilos. And on the right is the person you're just seeing right now. I weigh now 70 kilos. How did I manage to reduce so drastically? There were two things very important in life. One of them, which is very important, is you have to love yourself. And whatever happens, that is secondary. Because when you take a decision for yourself, you will be calculated. You will make sure that it should be a well-being, a well-written. So this is what I did. When I started intermittent fasting, I write first thing, what is my goal? And then, as you all are aware of it, we all are concerned about our extra fats. And we look around internet asking for what is the best option to go for. Mainly, people will go for reducing calories or calories count. What I experienced and put on my body to research, which I am presenting right now, I understand the value of whatever you eat. Even your body needs to be restart. It has to have a reset value. And then you can observe the advantages of it. Now, for example, this is of my chart, which I started today. Now, what I practiced was intermittent fasting. Through help of this app, bodyfast.de, I understand that if you fast for 16 hours and eat for 8 hours, that is more healthier than calculating the calories and putting yourself into a lot of stress. I have observed this practically. And if you all will, you will enjoy this phase of fasting. This is what I am doing right now. My fasting starts at 2 in the afternoon. As I started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I urge many of them, if you want to start your beginner, start from 6 p.m. till morning 8 till 10. 14 plus hours is more recommended. So at the start of your fasting, you won't be feeling so much of hungry because you have just started your food. Right after 4 hours, your insulin level will go down and you will feel hungry. That is when a large glass of water will help. And it has often helped me. To distract, you can watch Netflix, you can read books, you can walk a bit, but try not to have any solid, any juice. It's just black coffee, green tea, water, without sugar, without milk. These three, what you're looking at right now, is the body effect after 8 hours, 10 hours, and 12 hours. I will quickly go through with you all. After 8 hours of fasting, after 4 hours of your fasting, that insulin level goes down. After 8 hours, the blood sugar goes down. It comes to normalize. This is when you have to calm down. Your body calms down a little. Exactly after 10 hours of your fasting, if you start at 6, so it's almost like around 4 a.m., your body begins to draw on energy from its fat stores. Means now you'll be reducing your fats. Your body, whatever food they need, requirement will be taken from the fats of your body. Over here, a gentle exercise can help you out to support, or if really it's 4 a.m., I understand you might be sleeping, so you won't be that hungry enough. Exactly after 12 hours, you intend to draw back the ketosis, which is you feel more alert. Now, this is we are saying about after 6 hours. At 6 a.m., you are more alert for your work. After 14 hours, it is autophagy what we follow. Autophagy is what regenerates. It strengthens you, it slows down your aging level, and more than what? More you have an autophagy practice, it will help you. So start beginning from today. Evaluate, write your goal, and practice intermittent fasting. Any help, you can contact me. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
With that said, that the prepared speech session comes to an end. I'd like to ask the timer, has everyone qualified?
Everyone is one.
Okay, so speakers, should
Can't
I
be.
call out their names?
No, I'm just floating the vote on WhatsApp. Everyone, I'm floating the poll on WhatsApp for both the physical attendees and the Zoom attendees. So please check out the KTC group and you'll receive the poll momentarily.
And so let us now move on towards a very, very, very short table topic session. And for that, I'd like to call the table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Asghar.
Thank you once again. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day to call me again. This is the very, very short table topic session, and I am interested, as advised, to call mostly the guests. But let me invite the Toastmaster Waqar first.
Yes.
To initiate.
Now we can go for 3 topics.
Okay. Toastmaster Waqar.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming over here. Have you ever reboot your computer?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think rebooting our life, like our computer, is possible? And how?
At first, I reboot my computer, not means reboot the computer like I used to have, I think more 10 years before, like the P3, I think which you call that time Pentium 2 or Pentium 3. After getting the new laptops and new gadgets, I haven't rebought any of that new gadget. So that's because of the new technology. So I think rebooting of life, it's not possible. And I think it's also not appropriate to report it. Reporting means when we restart from when we restart by cancelling or by deleting all the previous information or all the previous data which we have. But in our life, the first thing or the main thing which we got in our life is experience. And experience, there is a famous quote for experience. Experience comes when you do not need it. Because when you got experience in any of the matter, you got very frank on that matter and you can pass on that matter very easily. And that's the experience you got. It's not that you don't know that experience. It means that you have passed that certain level. Now you are on the upgradation of that level. So reporting of life, I think it's not good or it's not possible, but it's just a different idea that it's recycling of that phase. Whenever we are in a tough time, we need to sit and we need to rethink. I think rather than rebooting, it should be restarting. That's all. Thank you.
Telling us about the experience, we don't need it when it comes. Now I would like to go online on my guests. I just wanted to know if Samir Hussain.
Yes, he's
there.
there. Yes, he
He's
is
there.
Yes.
Should I go on with my topic?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Guest Samir Hussain, I want you to talk about opening a new chapter in life.
Ask him to turn on his video.
And please turn on your radio and just tell me about anything which you consider reopening or a new chapter of your life. That may be a admission in a university, or you are married and you are marriable age. I hope you are, or anything you want.
Toastmasters guest Samir, are you there? Guest Samir, are you there? No, I don't think
Do we have Shahab Mumtaz among the guests?
No.
Okay. Do we have Mariam Aftab? Yes.
Yes, Toastmaster Mariam.
Can she
soon to be Toastmaster Mariam?
Toastmaster, soon to be Toastmaster.
Yeah, soon
Mariam.
to be. Yeah.
Okay. So the status is correct. So guest Mariam Aftab, this
Yes.
question is to you. Tell us about reopening a new chapter of your life. Which events you considered as a new chapter or a reopening of a chapter in your life?
Thank you, Toastmaster, for the topic. Well, I guess we all have been going through a lot of different stages. I mean, from birth to death, there are different stages that we all go through. There's no one particular one that I would say that this is the one that have changed my life, or maybe the one that I found it hard or something like that have changed my life. But definitely being a daughter, then a student, and a student life, college life, university life, you go through a lot of different phases. And then a big change comes after you get married. different responsibilities, different uh, different changes in different aspects of life. You go through a lot of things, you face a lot of things, and then you learn a lot from them. So I think every stage, there's no particular one. In a woman's life, I can relate to that. I think we go through a lot. Well, whether it is a student life or a married life or a job or a working woman life or a mother, a household life, they all are different and different. Every page you turn your life, you turn a story, every page is different. You have to go through all if you don't want even. So that's the beauty of the life, I guess. You go through all the headings, you go through all the lines, you go through all the phrases. You feel them, sometimes you amend them.
You're muted.
I hope I was audible before that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know
were.
what happened. Right. So it's just the phases, I would say, that you go through, and you have to read every single line, and you have to go through every single line of your life that has been written, or your destiny. So every page is different, every heading, every subheading is different, and you had to go through all that, and you have to embrace that. That's the beauty. And if you'll just summarize it, or I think that's the life, that you have to go through all the pages if you don't want to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam Aftab. What a confident speaker. Is she still yet to be a Toastmaster?
Yeah.
When will
For a
she
day or
join
two,
us?
hopefully.
Huh?
Yeah, in a day or two.
Can we have a commitment now from her?
You are not confident.
She's already committed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me know if our guest Samir Hussain is still there.
Guest Samir, are you there? Yes, you are.
Yes,
Please
I'm
turn
here.
on your video.
Yep. So give me a moment, please. Guys, like, sorry, my kid, he's trying a bit. Just give me a moment, please. Sorry.
Yeah. Can you turn on your video?
Yep, sure.
Okay. So are you with us now?
Yep, I'm
Yes,
here.
he is. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Samir. Well, yes, Samir, don't worry, we are laughing on ourselves. Okay.
Yep, that I've reckoned.
Sometime we leave a habit during our life, then we realize and pick it up or restart a habit. Do you remember any such habit in your life, and can you share it with us?
Yep, sure. So just a moment. Give me a minute, please.
So guys, never going to have that kind of theme of the meeting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep, guys, back. Really sorry
He's
about
back.
that. Yeah. No, that is a habitual thing, especially with a 1-year-old. So, anyways, yep. Getting back to the question, there has been one thing which I really wish was a good habit, and I started again, and it was to start waking up early during the day. Recently, with the all work from home situation and stuff, I used to sleep like a lot late, like 5 in the morning, and that is something which I've worked upon in recent times, and even in the weekdays, that's what I mean. So that is something that I worked upon, and now I go back to sleep early, and that has helped me a lot. So going back like 6 to 7 years, when I was a lot younger, and used to go for soccer trainings early in the morning. So that is the next step that I have in mind, before I start work. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guest Sabir said, for your insightful. And I was the victim, the exact same problem. I'm trying to restart it now, dear colleagues. With this, I would like to announce the end of this wonderful session, which is called table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Do we have
Yeah. Timing.
Everyone is qualified.
Please vote for the best table topic speaker. And with that said, the very short and quick table topic session comes to an end. We are now moving towards the last segment of the meeting, and that is general evaluation, which will be held by Toastmaster Imran Raza. So over to the Toastmaster Imran
Yeah.
Raza, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Over to the general evaluation.
No, not worth it.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I am the general evaluator for this meeting, and you all know that evaluation is the breakfast of the champions. This segment divides into 4 parts. First, I will call upon prepared speakers, evaluator. Then second part would be calling upon a table topic evaluator. Then I will call role holders to share their reports and then evaluate overall meetings. So without wasting any time, I would like to call TM Hibbar Rajesh Khan for evaluating TM Ramsha Shahid. Over to you, TM Hibbar.
Am I visible? Yes, I am. Am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, TM Ramsha, you spoke on a topic which is very relevant in today's pandemic world. The pandemic world, the pandemic has caused all sorts of mental health issues for people all around the world. People's businesses have suffered a lot, and they have had financial and economic crisis thrust upon them. What I liked about your speech was there was a good clarity. There was a good clarity in the amount of time you spoke, since you faced technical difficulties. You had good eye contact during the time you spoke, and I found you constantly looking at the camera. And you had good hand gestures which you used to explain yourself during the speech. The audience were quite aware about what you were speaking, and you appeared quite comfortable during the time you spoke. I, as well as the audience, were quite engaged and interested in what you were speaking. However, like every speech, there were some areas of improvement which I found lacking in your speech. The first one is you lack vocal variety, which you should have brought in your speech so that it could have been more interesting, and it could have added more depth in it. And I also thought that since I suppose you were sitting down, since we could not see your complete body, so you were sitting down, so you should have stood up and delivered your speech so that we could have seen your body gestures as well. And also, last but not the least, make sure that your internet service is running smoothly so that no hindrance is faced in delivering and evaluating the speech. And Overall, it was a fine speech, and with the areas of improvement mentioned and taking it into consideration, you are definitely on the way to becoming a better speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Hibba. Now I would like to call TM Ali Ashar Anjum for evaluating TM Noreen Fatma. Ali Ashar Anjum.
I believe I am audible and visible. My target speaker, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. Today, you was good, and the you was confident. But the thing where you can do to improve your speech. Number one is the better opening. You can start like this, so some facts, figures, plus emotions. Like this, every day there are 25,000 people die. The climate is miserable, glaciers are depleting, and we need a solution. And in this way, you can hook up the audience. Second thing is responding in the audience when they interact. When I used to teach chemistry, I still remember that one of my student, when I was teaching the Avogadro number, that is just a number, my student asked me from where it's come. So I answered it, this is your homework. So you can do that thing also. Second thing is, so by addressing the audience, you must have a smile on your face. This will give you a positive point. The tactic to challenge yourself is to control on your emotions and expression while during speech and interruption. Overall, your speech was good. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you, TM Ali Ashar. Now I would like to call TM Taha Hassan to evaluate TM Rabia Tabassum Zishan.
Okay. So today I'm evaluating the lovely Toastmaster Rabia. She delivered her project, and the best thing about that was you finished in time, which we need to work on. And that itself tells that you were prepared with the topics and what you choose. The project was presenting research, research and presenting. You excelled at clarity. You were really clear with while speaking. You had good gestures in line with the topic and what you were presenting. And the topic of your speech was really great. We all were interacted with it, what you were trying to say, and your slides were really good with the choice of the picture. And the things you may want to work on is the use of the stage. You were lacking with the use of the stage. You're just standing there and pointing out. You could have changed your position and then try to say what you were trying to say. And another thing, your most attractive thing, that was your smile. That was lacking. You're a bit confused because maybe of the disconnection of rerooming here and there, connecting everything. Maybe
Yeah.
that was the point. And to challenge yourself, try to work on your comfort level. Better comfort level, like we've seen the legend speakers, how they speak when they are really comfortable. And wearing this comfortable coat really excels you at speaking and being a good speaker. And apart from that, it was a well concluded speech. Please turn on that green light. I'm done with Okay, yes.
Oh.
Thank you, TM Taha Hassan. Now I would like to call TM Rabia Tabassum Zishan for evaluating TM Kareem Megani.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. What did I do wrong? TM Kareem Meghani started with a very strong opening. He exhibited many examples of what may go wrong in anyone's life. And he excellent. TM Kareem Meghani, you have excellent control of your voice, and there was fluctuation in your tones. The points you wanted to emphasize. One thing which I noticed was you did come in front of the camera and you made it clear that you were emphasizing on those points, and then you took a step back. The highlight of your speech was the conversation you had with your boss and yourself, and the voice fluctuation, the transition of the tone was clearly differentiable. When you were talking about yourself, you were sounding very confused and very not so confident and when you're talking about your boss, you had that firm tone in your voice. So your tone fluctuation was very superb. You had great facial expressions, which were clearly visible in the camera, and you made sure that you made eye contact with the audience. You also brought a humor element in between the speech, which lifted our spirits and which brought everyone back if they were getting bored or something. But to wake everyone up, it's a good point to bring a humor element in your speech, and you did that by talking about your height and your subordinate's height. You have great use of hand gestures, and you also use the word of the day in the prepared speech, which I think it's very challenging to use it in a prepared speech. So kudos for that. Only one suggestion that I would like to give, although I did not find anything, but still for the purpose of evaluation, is that choose a space where you can move from left to right, just as Taha just told me to do so, because there was a wall, I think, on your left side, and you were only moving in one direction. You were not using the stage properly. So to recapitulate, so the perfect speech, perfect voice modulation, it's always a treat to watch you, Mr. Kareem, and you did nothing wrong.
Thank you, TM Rabia. Now I would like to call TM Ali Hasnan Babar to evaluate TM Azhar Khan. Sorry?
Raza is not here.
TM Ali Hasnan Babar. He's not there. Okay.
Raza is not there. Still this is
Okay. So shall I move on or?
Azhar.
Next evaluator.
Okay. So now next evaluator is TM Hina Ali Osaf, and she would be evaluating TTM Talha bin Hamid.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I've just sorry, there. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm just pinning the timer. Just give me a second. Not able to. Anyway, so today I'm evaluating DTM Talha bin Hamid's speech on his understanding his own leadership style. And from the word go, if I had to recapitulate his speech, he engaged the audience, first of all, with that extremely lengthy but very well articulated title to his speech, where I think we got a clear glimpse of everything that is DTM Talha as a leader. And as he said rightly, he is a leader who truly serves and does not behave like one. He is collaborative and supportive. And as they say, if you move fast, you will go, you will go far. But if you move together, you will achieve more. I hope I got that right. So anyway, coming back to his evaluation, it's not an easy one, but I think I may have some points which I hope will help him. He excels at explaining his point and articulating about leadership. So what I loved, first of all, is he engaged us by talking about people in the world in history who've been considered leaders, but who weren't really, they were really bullies. And I love the term that he used, that jerks who try to, let me just get that term properly, jerks of the world like that, they like to call themselves leaders. They are not really leaders. So nobody's a leader and everybody's a leader. I loved his euphemisms. So we were engaged right to the end, including his saying that he's going to have to do some damage control after talking about a lot of things. What I think I would have really liked to see more of in this speech was we got to know that he's an innovative leader and also an altruistic leader, without a doubt. I would have loved to hear some examples or anecdotes that would have supported that as well from his personal and professional life. Okay. Everything was wonderful. What I think I'd like to see him excel at is, we've seen him in person. He's an absolutely emphatic speaker and presenter. Online as well, he is amazing. The eyes on the camera, speaking as if he's speaking to each and every one of us. Now with this hybrid meeting, what I first of all saw is that he wasn't standing in the frame, he was slightly outside the frame. Can we somehow please stop this echo? It's disturbing me. Let me increase my volume so you can hear me better. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, just very quickly. All right, so what I would really love to see is in the frame that's there for a hybrid meeting, maybe beforehand, make sure that the camera is properly focused on you.
Right.
And then get that frame right where you're standing in the middle and then moving purposefully between those frames. And also over here, I was missing the eye contact very much, which is there in an in-person or on online meeting. So it's extremely challenging. I hope you can do something about that. But other than that, as always, awesome, emphatic, amazing. Over to you.
Thank you, TM. And now I would like to call DTM Talha bin Hamid to evaluate TM Ghulam Qadir. Over to you, DTM Talha.
Okay. Am I in the frame?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Toastmaster Hina, for pointing that out. Because if you had not pointed that out, I would not have realized it. So, okay. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, from online to hybrid. You had a very inspiring start. You absorbed us all with your tale of how you came to Karachi Toastmasters Club for the first time, how you got inspired, how you benefited from the physical interaction that you had with each and every one of us. What I noticed today in your speech to an extraordinary extent was your flow and your sincerity. both were present. I haven't seen this degree in many previous speeches of yours, but today your gestures, your sincerity, your conviction was all well coordinated. Uh, and you had a little bit of vocal variety too, when your heart was pounding and everything, and you amplified it to some degree, not to maybe a desired degree, but to some degree. And one more thing that I noticed about your speech today was how beautifully structured it was. Your transitions were great. They were well drafted, well crafted, and everything led beautifully into one another. So congratulations on completing. I believe I was very inspired. And I believe everyone else was also very inspired after reading you, after listening to your speech. Now, a few improvement areas. First of all, you may have heard his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on the sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. You're nervous, but on surface you're calm and ready. Yeah. So yeah. So why did I do that? I just wanted to impress the voters. But actually, in this song, he starts with how down in the dumps he was, and then how he rises. So maybe, just maybe, as a variation of what you already did, you could have started with what you mentioned in the middle, that how everything was going down in your life and you felt demotivated, and then you came to Toastmasters and started to change. So maybe just as a variation, because that rags to riches story is always very appealing to an audience. Today, I spotted some grammatical errors in your speech, which are very minimal usually, but today they were more than usual. And last but not the least, and that is where I would like to challenge yourself. You need to be now stepping out of the envelope of your vocal range. I spotted sincerity, I spotted voice modulation, everything. There was nothing missing, but some things were not there to the desired degree. So maybe my heart was pounding or something like that. That would have lent a little more drama to your speech. In some portions, you sounded very sincere, your words were very sincere, emotions were sincere, but you had a very matter-of-fact style. So maybe that can be changed. To recapitulate, wonderful speech, just a little more emotional amplification needed. Over to you, General.
Thank you, DTM Talha. Now I would like to call our last evaluator, TM Saad, to evaluate TM Latif Mansoor.
Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. Again, an excellent, mind-blowing speech. Your content was stupendous. Your eye contact was outstanding. You exactly matched the purpose of the speech, because you actually enlighten the audience how to make a magical transformation. Even though I won't apply it, but yeah, that was the purpose. Getting words as some areas to improve upon. Again, online meeting, you were like this. You're down. You're down. So I know you were occupied work, I think, but yeah, if you're up, that speech their speed would have gone from this to this. So that part was a bit off. You were a bit too not well not well prepared. I think you were like, okay, this text, the text on the PPT was like one, okay, next slide, okay, this thing, that thing. So maybe that's another area. And finally, a challenge for a champion speaker like you. Show some vocal variety and then take it upwards and then downwards according to the content of the speech. Go like upward, downward like a wave. But overall, excellent speech, purpose met, you are a champion. Over to you.
Thank you, TM Saad, for beating up Latif. So now we came to end to our prepared speakers evaluation. I would like to ask a timer that everyone is qualified.
Yes, everyone is qualified.
Okay. So vote counter can now float the vote, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I would like to call table topic evaluator TM Urusa Kaval, our past president. Over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. So we had a very small table topics today. And the first speaker was Toastmaster Vakas. His topic, do you think rebooting a life is possible and how? It was really nice to see Toastmaster Vakas after a long time, and he had really good content. He had very good hand gestures, good hand gestures. A little bit of improvement on how he can give the speech. He had his hands on his back, like he had his hands folded on his back, so maybe steeple in front. And you were looking at the table topic master while speaking. So maybe next time, maybe look at the whole audience. You were there in the room. So look at everyone while speaking and smile at everyone. Other than that, you were really good. And the takeaway from your speech, we get experiences when we don't really need it. So the next speaker was guest Mariam Akhtar, reopening a new chapter. Well-crafted content, good hand gestures. You seem to be repeating yourself a little bit today. So maybe not do that, and improvement a little bit today. You were not smiling like you always used to. So maybe add that smile today again. To the next piece, sorry. So the next speaker was guest Samir, restarting a habit. I must congratulate our guest Samir. He spoke really well within time, I must say. And he had a wonderful smile while he was speaking, and good content, no matter how much he spoke. Maybe just add a little bit of opening and ending while you're speaking. Other than that, you were really very, very good. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Urusa Kaval. Now I would ask role holder to share their reports. First, I would call upon TM Karim Meghani for his report as a grammarian. Karim Meghani. Is he there?
Yes, I'm here, but I'm attending another meeting, sorry. So today I am the grammarian also, and I am the word master also. I think, we should change our word master today. Not the word master, the word itself. It should be restart. Because
Yes, exactly.
but nobody was using recapitulate. So that's the amazing thing. I think I used it. Ditin Tala, I think, used it in the end when he was evaluating, and probably my evaluator also used it. So that was the whole idea of the word today. Very nice word. Basically, recapitulate. I personally use in my some of my speeches, also some of my discussions. So I like this word, but unfortunately, not many people use it. On the grammar side, I felt that today the language was really good. There was some lot of technical stuff also discussed in the prepared speeches. Some of the speeches have, we are talking about diet, then we are talking about creativity, we are talking, so there are a lot of good vocabulary were there, technical vocabulary was there, and I really enjoyed the speeches. And honestly, because I was listening as a grammarian, so I was really impressed with a lot of speeches. Some of the things which I think the articles when we use, and we all want to be an optimist, not optimist. Suppose sometimes people are not using the articles properly. So, and then even myself, I when I am speaking, I know that several. In times I don't use grammar properly because just in a flow, so we don't care about the past tense or the future tense. But overall the grammar was really good. I think that we can improve it probably by writing our speeches and memorizing and internalizing it and delivering it. So that's what from my side.
Thank you, TM Kareem. Now I would like to call our R counter, TM Bakar. Is he there? Sorry.
We know what you're going to do.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for calling me. So my report on our counting is, I'll tell you, started with the prepared speeches. Ramsha with the 2 R's, 1 ums, and a few filler words. She was disconnecting a little bit, so I guess I'm not complete with that. Toastmaster Noreen with 2 R's, also 1 ums, and a few, more than few filler, repetition of words. And Toastmaster Rabia with a few ums, a lot of ums in her speech, and 1 R. And Toastmaster Azhar his repetition of words were really more than usual. Toastmaster Kareem had a couple of repetition of words. And Toastmaster Talha and Ghulam Qadir, they were really spectacular. No art, no. See, I was good. Over to you.
Thank you, TM Ta. Now I would like to call upon listener, TM Hibba Rais.
Listen.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. That was that, and that's it. That was that, and that's it.
Latif?
No. 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 TM Raksha.
TM Azhar also.
Acha. Okay. Please pin the timer so you can see the time. No.
DTM Tala.
DTM Talha. Yes. Is an active member who is an active member who I wish was here today. Yes. Madagascar's context.
Kareem Meghani.
We have developed a special secretariat for SDGs.
Noreen. Toastmaster Noreen.
Yes. Optimistic isn't about ignoring the reality. No. 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 No.
Yeah.
No.
Being optimist.
No.
No. I think Mariam Aftab, I think.
Kim Ramsha, everyone's forgetting her.
Oops.
The topic was optimistic. SDGs are known as Sustainable Development Goals.
Noreen.
Noreen, yeah.
Okay. And style has become quite bossy.
Kareem.
Yes.
Kareem Meghani.
I urge many of them.
Come again?
I urge many of them.
PM Latif?
Yes,
No.
PM Latif.
Oh.
Experience comes when you do not need it. It was PM Bakar, I suppose. The one in the Shalwar Kameez.
Right.
So the status is correct.
Status is correct.
Yes, Azhar.
As
You turn a page, every story is different. You turn a page, every story is different.
Toaster Mariam Aftab.
Yes, yes. You have to embrace that. You have to embrace that.
PM Latif?
Also Mariam Aftab, I think. Or
Yes, Aftab Kadwai, yes, yes. And
Aftab Kadwai.
Nobody was using recapitulate today.
Kareem Meghani. Come on,
Yes.
Kareem, we did.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
did.
yes.
Rabia did.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
I'm not listening.
Thank you, TM Hibba, for such an active listener. So now I hope that every role holder has shared their report. So now I will evaluate the meeting in general.
Timer, everyone.
Timer report.
Do we have to get now timer report also? It's 10 p.m. Okay. So now it's turn for the timer. Please share your report.
Everyone, please vote for the best facilitator. Three weeks ago.
That's great.
Timer will share his
meantime,
report or
you can
yeah,
do your
carry
general
on.
evaluation.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So meeting started almost on time, but it is now too late. And TM Mariam Arif conducted her role as a Toastmaster of the day very well. Her theme of today was restart, and it was seeming that everything is restarting that KTC. And Zoom meeting has followed her very well. We had a great round of prepared speeches and short and excited table topics hosted by TM Asghar. It was really amazing. All evaluators have evaluated their respective speeches very well, and all the role holders did amazing job. I would like to give a round of applause to our EC members for arranging this hybrid Toastmasters meeting. So a round of applause for all the EC members. And I would now like to hand over the charge to Toastmaster of the day, TM Mariam Arif. Thank you.
Actually, Toastmaster Mariam Arif has left. So I will just carry on. And the only duty as Toastmaster of the day that's remaining is to actually ask for votes for the best Big Four. and then I hand over the charge to the president, which happens to be conveniently myself. So I will just float the poll for best big four. Everyone quickly vote. And yeah.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. So best big four, everyone please vote for best big four. I'm floating the poll. And while that happens, Toastmaster Imran, can you convey to me the critics' choice?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want, I
can
can
you-
announce it.
Yeah, you can announce it. Okay. Fine.
Okay, the critics' choice for top threes are third place goes to Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. Second place goes to Toastmaster Kareem Nizami. And we have a winner, Toastmaster Ghulam Khan.
Okay. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana, and it's thankfully time to wind up the meeting. It was a wonderful meeting despite all the hiccups, and as we were all discussing here, keeping the theme restart was perhaps the worst decision in history. And who came up with this? Yeah, I know. Yeah. But despite everything, we had 8 spectacular speeches, and we managed to, I believe, have at least one level completion, if not 2.
My level.
Yeah, your level is completed.
Azaz completed
Azaz, he already had completed it. He repeated. Yeah, so non-value, but okay. Oh, I forgot I'm not the VP anymore. So, okay, so thank you everyone for attending and keeping with us. Oh, I need to announce the results. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, so just quickly, and I hope everyone has voted. Yeah. Okay. So the best prepared speeches today goes to, oh, interesting. I got 2 whole votes. So, but the winner for today is Toastmaster Ghulam Khan. Best table topic speaker, I'm not going to announce. Because by now you should have known. Yeah. And Toastmaster Mariam, if you're there, yes, you are there. Now you I'm not issuing your certificate unless you take up the membership. Okay?
Then I'll be doing it in a day or two, don't worry.
Now remember, the president is no longer the soft-hearted Toastmaster. So she used to issue you a certificate every time. Okay. So congratulations once again on a spectacular table topics. And okay. The best evaluator for today goes to Toastmaster Sajwe. Wow. Apparently, ragging someone is a key to popularity. So congratulations. Okay. And finally, the best meeting facilitator. And wow, that goes by quite a margin to Toastmaster Hiwari. Finally, the best big four. The person who did not even finish the role, but Toastmaster. One thing that we say about Toastmaster Mariam is that she comes and she sees and she conquers. So congratulations. So thank you, everyone. We promise that the next meeting will be much more efficient. We are constantly learning. Please bear with us on this learning curve because obviously we have resumed hybrid meetings after quite a long time. Thank you for staying with us till the end. And very soon, hopefully, inshallah, we'll be making some very exciting announcements. As always, anybody who's interested in next meeting's roles or speeches, send a message to Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Imran.
So, thank you so
Who
much.
has left the meeting?
See you, inshallah, next week or even sooner. Oh yeah, sooner because there's a club officers training this weekend. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, and Allah Hafiz.